So one of the questions I always ask new clients is what does the buyer journey look like? Because it's one thing to have people know about you, know that you exist. It's another for them to have a clear idea of what you actually do, of the benefit you provide. And it's another thing entirely for them to know who it is that you provide that content, well, again, in my case, it's content, but whatever services you provide, who are you providing it for? And what is that benefit? Why should they work with you over someone else? So I always ask this question of like, what does that look like? How do you not only get them to know that you exist, but also educate them on the value you provide and what it looks like to work with you and how you work with your clients and the benefits that they get. For a lot of my clients, that's a long process. That's not an Instagram ad, right? I'm sure we've all bought stuff off Instagram and Facebook and whatever off of one ad that we saw. We saw, oh, that looks cute. Oh, that looks really useful. I bet I could use that for such and such, right? And you grab it for whatever reason, right? That's not always the case for the professional service providers that I work with. You've got a higher investment. You've got more risk if it doesn't pay off, not only in terms of losing money, but in terms of not getting what you need out of that service provider. So there's usually more than one person making that hiring decision. So it's a longer process. And yet I talk to a lot of people, corporations specifically, where you've got the sales team and you've got the marketing team. And marketing team is supposed to generate leads, sales team is supposed to close those leads. And when you say it like that, it sounds like they should be working together, right? It sounds like, all right, marketing is bringing in the leads, sales is closing the leads, everyone's happy, everyone's doing their touchdown dance. The reality is you frequently have them marketing sales off in their own doing their own thing, and they're going in completely different directions, sometimes even fighting each other because they don't really have a good idea, neither has a good idea of what the other is really doing or trying to achieve or why they're doing what they're doing. So I decided to address this. So I am so excited because I've been working on this for forever to finally launch my new service, Bridging the Gap Aligning Sales and Marketing. It is a 5-hour workshop where I work with sales and marketing and leadership. I need all of you in the room together so that we can hash all of this out, right? So we're going to start by kind of airing our grievances privately, anonymously, right? Not privately, because we are going to talk it out, but it is going to be anonymous. So you can honestly talk about what are your perceptions of the other department. And then they get to talk about their perceptions of you. And then everyone gets to talk about, well, this is what I'm doing. And this is how I'm trying to do it. And this is why I'm trying to do it this way. And by identifying all of those things, that's how we identify the gap in the perception of what another department is doing, as well as the reality of what they're doing, as well as the gap between what they're doing and what they need to be doing. Because sometimes there is misalignment in terms of, well, we think we should be doing this, and really they need to be doing this thing over here. And they don't get it because there is this disconnect between the two departments. Like I said, leadership, there's a disconnect usually in leadership as well, but really sales and marketing is what this is going to be focused on, is helping marketing better understand what sales is dealing with, because marketing needs to fill the funnel, that it needs to get high quality leads, it needs to understand what the pain point is, what people are looking for when they come to you, what kind of language they use, all needs to be incorporated into marketing. And when you're doing it yourself, that's easy because you talk to all your ideal clients, you talk to all of your prospects, you understand what's going on. But if you're trying to do this and sales is the one talking to prospects and clients all day, and they're not giving you that feedback as far as what they're hearing, how the heck are you supposed to know what topics to write, what language to use, what are the objections you need to overcome? Because let me tell you from experience, when your marketing is aligned, it's so much easier to close the deal because the content does so much of the heavy lifting for you. But if marketing and sales aren't aligned, then sales doesn't see that value. So I have this workshop now, aligning sales and marketing to fix that problem, to close that gap. So sales and marketing will now be working in tandem, working towards the same goal, actively working together to achieve that same goal. And everybody wins, and the business in particular wins because it gets to go so much further, so much faster when they are helping each other out instead of fighting each other. So, if you have any questions, if this is something that interests you or someone you know, please feel free to reach out. You can leave me a comment here on YouTube, or you can check it out over at my website, AV as in my initials, Allison Verhalen. That is avwritingservices.com. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Happy blogging, everyone.